All right, welcome back, everybody. NACE Spring Cup Overwatch. We're now at the semifinals. We've got St. Clair College back once again. This time, we're versing UT Dallas, also known as the Comets. Once again, my name is Daniel Banner. I'm going to be one of your hosts here this evening, alongside Bailable. We just came back of a pretty one-sided one from St. Clair, to be completely honest. That was a brutal one. But this time we got UT Dallas Comets. What are you looking at for this one? As it looks like we're on Lijiang once again for the first game.
I know if St. Clair plays like they did last game, thinking about you saying it's one-sided, that's probably a light way to put it. If they play as well as they did last time, and we're starting off on the same control point they started on last time, I think with St. Clair's strats, they could really throw off Dallas here, as they pulled out some pretty cheeky stuff that you don't see too often. And it'll be up to Dallas to try to adapt to it, or maybe they've seen it before and they're ready for it.
And unless they studied ahead of time, they would have no time to do the VODs. UT Dallas just came in hot, like they were playing at the same time the Saints were. They were up against the Jimmies, and they were able to take that in 2-0 fashion. And now, like, looking at their stats so far in the NACE Spring Cup during the initial group phase, they went a flawless 5-0 on their group, and that includes teams like Boise State University and the UCO Broncos. And that's definitely much better than what we had seen from our opponents last time in Shenandoah. So we'll get to see. We're going to see this initial strategy once again from St. Clair, where they teleport right onto the point. However, unlike Shenandoah, we do see UT Dallas right here ready to contest, and it's actually going to turn into the UT Dallas favor as of this moment, with all the Saints dropping nice and quick. Just a matter of cleaning up Imp and Seymour. Not a single player from UT Dallas Comets going down there. That was completely answered.
Very clean from Dallas, and we see like a bit of like a more like favorable pick coming from both sides, as you see St. Clair opting to play the May and Dallas opting to play the Doomfist. It'll be interesting to see the way these two clash together to see who comes on top, because in theory they don't really counter each other, but they play in two very different ways.
Oh, hello there. How appropriate. Bouncing all over everybody on St. Clair. A ton of damage, but thankfully I think Imp and Justin are able to top everybody off before they actually get started with this. The flank from Hello not going to be as super effective as necessary. The Coalescence is being traded out. However, can Justin top off all of his players? Jub went in for the flank, and we've seen time and time again, either that works wonders or it gets completely shut down. And Jub going to get taken out, and that's going to be Hello getting out with an inch of his life. Right in time, gets his shields, and everybody else on the side of the Comets just completely following up beautifully, destroying St. Clair.
And we do see this swap from Jub here, opting off the Symmetra for the McCree, which is theoretical counter to Doomfist if you can get that flashbang on him. And, when you don't have control of the point, it's hard to make Sim work, as you really need those turrets to be set up and your beam to be charged in order to get much value.
Yeah, we had seen some success in our last matchup with Jub switching over to the McCree, but a brand new team, whole different squad. Let's see what happens as Seymour's going to start things off. Jukebox going to answer right back. A nice attempt at the stun from Seymour, but does go wide. So Jukebox going to be able to get his ulti off, and he actually just smoked Jub with a rock. And that's another sweep here for the side of the UT Dallas Comets. And they are on pace to 0 to 100, 100-0. St. Clair on this one. Completely reversed from what we've seen from St. Clair last time by.
Oh, for sure. And it's unfortunate that Imp got picked off early on in that fight, because his sound barrier was like St. Clair's saving grace against Dallas's Gravitic Flux. And we see here, even with the sound barrier online, which he doesn't even get to use, St. Clair doesn't have the sustain to follow up onto this point.
Absolutely beautiful and flawless execution coming out here from UT Dallas. This may exactly be the kind of challenge that St. Clair was worried about going up against. And they're definitely showing their stuff here so far with the beautiful 100-0. Let's take a look at some of the squad actually from UT Dallas. We got Jukebox and Louie as the tank line. Hello and Worthy were the DPS players, and we got Kinetic and Day on support. Meanwhile, of course, on the St. Clair side, you know who these players are, but it's Prince Wada and Seymour, your tank line. You have Yustin and Imp, your supports, and Crypt and Jub, your DPS players here for both sides. And we get to see if St. Clair can make something different happen here with this different point of Lijiang Tower. Instead, going across the bridge and into this control point. See what happens, as we do see Pharmacy coming out here, and a couple different picks actually from St. Clair.
Yeah, we are seeing a dive composition from both sides here. St. Clair opting to play the Pharmacy, which we've seen them run before. They seem pretty confident with it. It's worked for them in the past. And of course, you know, if Dallas decided to run the Doomfist, there's not much you can do about it, Bara.
A little bit of a back and forth going here until UT Dallas does seem to clean this up. They're going to be the ones able to get that first pick. And Jukebox is just going to hang around, be absolutely annoying there on the Hammond. And going to eventually go back, and they have this thing all under control. Start things off for round number 2.
We do see now the Tracer pick, swapping off the Pharah for Crypto to possibly try to, I don't know, farm up tanks and try to get a good pulse bomb onto either the Lucio or the Moira.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what we see Worthy doing, and Worthy has that pulse bomb there ready to go. Jukebox bowling through everybody and gets the shield in a massive double kill with that pulse bomb. Worthy gonna shut this push down dead.
Now it's just cleanup work here from Dallas, wiping out the last few remaining members of St. Clair, as St. Clair is gonna reset here. Not much on either side.
The stagger.
We do see the EMP from Hello now, which coming up into this next fight, St. Clair running a Tracer and a Diva. You know, once they're EMP'd, there's not really too much value you can get out of those heroes while they're practically forced to do nothing for a fight.
And you can see Hello looking for the opportunity to go in and actually hacks onto Seymour while he's mid-flight, a sitting duck, and Crypt's getting absolutely popped as well. There's the EMP that we were looking for from UT Dallas, and it is going to be probably another wipe here at this rate. That's going to be Louis taking down one. It's going to be the Primal Rage coming out from Prince Wada. He's going to try and hang on to this as much as possible. I'm actually kind of surprised, considering how many players were down from St. Clair, that he popped this as late as he did. Tried to knock a few people off the building, or not the building, but off the bridge. Not going to do it. We're now in a bit of an odd spot. Crypto trying to get back in here and contest. We're now down to 90%. And there is not any resources really here for St. Clair. Seymour's Diva Bomb is the only thing that's going to be close. And Louis is going to be absolutely difficult to try and get by. 2 more going down from St. Clair. Overtime bar going down. The hack onto Seymour to shut down any sort of Diva Bomb shenanigans. And this should get cleaned up nicely. UT Dallas looking like they're going to get themselves a 2-0 and move up 1-0 here in this best-of-3 set. St. Clair's going to be stubborn about it. We do see Wada back in once again, trying to get back, but nobody else is going to be there. That overtime bar went down pretty quickly, and that will do it. UT Dallas going to get the first blood here, going up 1-0 after game 1. And Worthy definitely finding his mark on a couple occasions in that fight. This is going to be from game number 1, where just probably got his thing melted up, or not as melted up, but he didn't even look like he used the beam, unless this is a spectator glitch. It must have been a spectator glitch. But charge up on a beam and just melt everybody. Got to get him the play of the game, it looks like. And then that was completely reversed from what we seen last time, right?
Yeah, for sure. St. Clair, going up against Dallas's on first point at least. It's a very similar comp aside from the Doomfist. And then again on the second point, just this really wacky and frag style comp running like a Tracer and a Sombra with a Wrecking Ball of all things. St. Clair just kind of looked a little caught off guard. Not something they were really prepared to go up against, and it seems like they're gonna have to try to think things through a little bit here, and while they have this break, try to come up with a suitable counter on the spot.
Yeah, it looks like St. Clair and UT Dallas are both ready to go. Just a matter of getting a few people in order here. But Junkertown is looking like the map that's going to be hovered over here for St. Clair as we hop into the game right now. So, a different escort style, no Dorado this time by. And is there anything specific about Junkertown that we should really take note of in terms of team composition or any sort of key locations, or is it like relatively similar in terms of Dorado style?
I'd say one key difference for Junkertown here, as it is a very open map, there is potential to play some snipers, as we already see Hello readying up on the Hanzo there. Also, since it's so open, a very pirate ship favored map. You know, this was the map that kind of started pirate ship at a professional level, at least, because of how easy it is to get Bastion on the cart, as the cart is right there outside the door, and it's just wide open area for the Bastion to spray into. And it looks like, you know, we're seeing kind of both worlds for St. Clair here. Crypto readying up on the Bastion, Jub getting that Widowmaker out, and you know, as I say that, we see Hello also swapping off the Hanzo to the Torb, so we could see how the tanks manage their shields here on cart.
I've seen some teams before do a bit of a close defense, and it was actually a bit of a summer style. They actually used the building to hide into. Crypt is going to get melted down pretty quickly. In fact, that is going to be the support of Kinetic, who actually takes them down there. Bit of a back and forth battle here. Justin getting himself on the kill board, but it's going to be another one down eventually. Stasis getting himself a double, and St. Clair is going to be back to the spawn room and after this one.
Very well done there from Dallas. You know, if the Bastion can't see you, he can't kill you. So coming out of that right room there to clean up St. Clair while the Bastion was just fully focused on getting to the cart. You know, the St. Clair was caught split up, and Dallas took full advantage.
And then St. Clair taking advantage a little bit of Hello being out of position, getting caught by the Orisa Halt, and it's going to be absolutely brutal. But Crypt once again just getting completely melted. However, the Saints are going to try and trade some kills back this time. Imp with the respawn, or not the respawn, with the revive onto the Bastion. Crypt's going to get back into the fight. Jub looking for heads, but even the tanks kind of take a couple shots to take care of, but eventually, slowly but surely, St. Clair are going to be able to get themselves away from the spawn point and finally get moving. Hello looking a little cheeky, though. This is a little different, seeing the Genji come out.
No one can.
Yeah, very interesting. We'll have to see what he tries to do with this. Maybe he tries to go after the Widow, possibly the Bastion, but I can't imagine him trying to do that without a D.Va. But on the other hand, you know, with Jub taking that wide angle, it's going to be pretty hard for them to push unless he's taken care of.
That Flux got so many members of St. Clair, however, that invulnerability field coming out clutch from Justin, keeping everybody alive, and they also popped down his ultimate, so that's going to be so much extra healing, so much extra damage, and St. Clair are going to push through and look like they're going to be able to make their way over to this first checkpoint as long as they can clean this up quickly. So eventually, I'm sure be able to do. There's the Halton. Okay, Kinetic does get caught out. The slippery little Lucio being stubborn, but it is going to be the team fight wipe here on the favor of St. Clair as they get this first checkpoint.
And this, for St. Clair at least, I think is where they can get the ball rolling. Is once you secure a good team fight and you can get that Bastion on the cart, as long as you keep him topped up, it becomes like a whole protect the president scenario, where as long as he's alive, you're usually winning the fight. Oh, on the other hand, some members from St. Clair caught off guard as they push through this gate. They're being forced off the cart now, which, now that that door is closed, getting that Bastion back on the cart isn't going to be an easy task.
I mean, one way to just get through the wall is to completely blow through it with a tank form, but it may not be exactly the safest of options. Let's see if they attempt it. We do see the Flux coming out from Seymour, and the stun is going to get landed right onto Crypt. It's going to get revived, but I believe that Comets know exactly what is going on at this point. Imp trying to heal as much as he can, but Jukebox getting so many players from St. Clair caught up in that Flux. And then Stasis and Day just following up, just basically skeet shooting at this point, taking care of it, and it's going to leave just one left. Jub's going to get one for his troubles, but one for one, and he's going to be forced to respawn once again.
Yeah, and we do see the swaps coming out from St. Clair now. Crypto swapping off the Bastion to go to the Mei, and Imp swapping off Mercy to the Lucio. Probably a better comp for here now. You know, it's close quarters. You know, as long as you're playing as a team, you can speed into them, freeze everyone up, and just icicle people to the dome.
Okay, we see the amplification coming up on that high ground, but a nice little wall there from Crypt as he switches over to the Mei, like you're mentioning. And it's going to make things a little bit difficult for those on the high ground. I'm going to try and keep everybody up. However, it's really hard when you don't have that much healing as Lucio. It's a little bit slow, not very bursty. Not going to be able to keep the members of St. Clair alive. As slowly but surely, I think they're going to end up losing this one. I'm going to see if anybody was... being honest, if he can maybe push that card a little bit more, but not going to be the case. Jukebox and the rest of the Dallas crew are going to be able to hang on to this about halfway to the next point. You do see the Hanzo, the Dragon Strike available, as well as the Bongo coming out here from Louis whenever they want to fire upon it. Only ultimate on board is Yustin. Here comes the Dragon Strike, going to try and cut off St. Clair. Actually, a nice halt into the Dragon Strike as well. So, granted, at least Yustin was on point, but that's a lot of low health bars on the side of St. Clair, and they're falling quickly as Louis gets 2, and that's going to be the cleanup here. Nicely done here. Good hold from UT Dallas.
So well done from Dallas there. You know, St. Clair, you know, they want to take the high ground. They're going to push into that little corridor. Dallas knows exactly what they need to do, having that Dragon Strike ready with the pull online, bringing everyone in, and they're just picking them off from their spawn here. This is looking rough for St. Clair.
Yeah, absolutely brutal stuff coming out here. They just managed to find 2 picks, then they just jump down and just force the issue. They, like, easy as soon as they get the 1, then it's like they slam on the gas and they just wreck you right after that. Putting the exclamation point on the battle, to say the least. Yeah, got about a minute left here. St. Clair try and get themselves to that second checkpoint, but this holds right now from Dallas Comets with so many ultimates. This is going to be so difficult, as that's another 2 members from St. Clair getting melted before the battle even feels like it really began. And then even if Dallas wants to be a little bit over-aggressive with their ultimate usage, they could probably get away with it considering how well they're holding this. And St. Clair don't have anything to answer with.
And something to notice here, Imp burned his sound barrier there despite 2 members of St. Clair being down, and Yustin swapping off the BAP. If they go back up into that top corridor, Dallas has this pull Dragon Strike combo online and no immortality to even save St. Clair.
They're very rough, and another huge Dragon Strike alongside the huge rock coming out here from Jukebox. St. Clair going to answer with 1 as Hello is down, but again, another huge hold coming out here from the Comets, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to contest that as they are all gone. UT Dallas Comets looking to check their way into the finals. St. Clair with quite the run so far this season, making it all the way to the semifinals, only losing 1 game up to this point, but they look lost out there, to be completely frank with you.
It just seems like Dallas has has practiced more on this double shield with the Baptiste. You know, they have a better hold on the comp, and at this point, St. Clair being on the edge, you got to question if they're going to try to mirror Dallas again, or if they're going to try some more comfort picks. You know, I've said it before on stream, and I'm going to say it again. If you can't mirror, you got to try to pull out something that's going to throw them off.
And I mean, if there's one thing that could definitely throw them off, we've seen last week during the last games of the group stage, when Jub and the rest of St. Clair were up against the wall, they pulled out Echo. They tried the new character, and it was successful. Do they try something like that again? Do they try a different cheeky composition? They've not necessarily done the Bastion Pharmacy like we saw during the first game versus Shenandoah, but at the same time with these guys being such strong sharpshooters, it seems. Do you want to really try that? Like, it seems pretty good. Like, they're pretty good at their shot calling, like focusing down the critical targets. Like, blow up one, blow up the other, and then just keep moving forward. But we're going to see a nice close hold here from St. Clair. And is it expected? It is expected. They had the shields down before they even walked out the door. Nicely done there from UT Dallas. They're not going to get cheesed out.
We'll have to see how UT goes against this, because, despite St. Clair being at their door, this position they're in isn't terrible. They have the Mei wall for some extra shielding if they need it. They can fall back, and never mind, the Bastion gets pulled out in the open and the Widow dings them.
That got extremely messy. Everybody from St. Clair just scattered in a bunch of different directions since the Comets were able to find additional shot lines, additional flanks, because the mobility of the Widow and the Hanzo made things extremely difficult. St. Clair are probably going to get taken down here from this first checkpoint extremely quickly, and they have to be very careful that they don't stagger too hard. Otherwise, that could very well be the match nice and quick.
Nice little wall attempt there from Jub Jub. As we gear up into this second fight. Not too many ults coming online, except for Jukebox on the side of UT Dallas coming out on a very quick gravitic flux. St. Clair is going to have to watch out for that, as a immortality field doesn't always save you.
Oh, you get halted out of it apparently, and it just takes you out. And it's going to be just Hello and the rest of the Dallas Comets squad able to just straight up open fire, even going to blow the ultimate from Jukebox just to secure this checkpoint and put the pressure on. 5 minutes on the clock to move it halfway across this checkpoint.
Yeah, and it's looking very dire for St. Clair now. You know, they're not even, aside from Jub Jub, they're not even halfway on all of their ults. Justin burned his during that fight. On the side of Dallas, we're seeing the Transcendence coming up. We're seeing the Baptiste Matrix come up, the Widow Infrasights, the Dragon Strikes online. You know, they got so much to work with here that, you know, St. Clair have to play this near perfect if they want to survive here.
And it's extremely hard to be perfect when you're especially down a player at this point. We see Kinetic getting extremely aggressive there with that Transcendence. He's going to go right point blank here with Jukebox as well, as he's going to stun everybody up. An absolute slaughterhouse here on the streets of Junkertown as the Dallas Comets take this 2-0 fashion, shutting down St. Clair College's run in this tournament here for the Spring Cup. Comets going to move over into the finals. St. Clair, solid run, amazing season overall, but that one had to hurt a little.
It always sucks to lose, you know, that badly when you've come so far and you've looked so dominant against the rest of the competition. You know, Dallas obviously being a very strong squad, they looked very practiced, especially on Junkertown, which personally I haven't seen a lot of St. Clair play on Junkertown. But you know, we saw the GGs come out in chat. Everyone's being good sports about everything, and we say best of luck next season.
I don't know. Just that's definitely seemed off. They were definitely on their high, and there was nothing like then having to play a team that's much higher caliber that then challenges you big time to kind of shake you a little bit. Like there was plenty of times where it just felt like St. Clair wasn't confident, or they'd get picked off. Like even near the very tail ends there on Junkertown, we had seen Crypt, like he would try to do the 1v1 versus Hello on the Hanzo. He would stun him, but he would miss the stunned head of Hello. And that's just adrenaline, that's just frustration, that's just everything that this team has been working for, building up, and the thought of the season just ending. It takes a toll on you, absolutely. But still, massive congratulations to UT Dallas, the Comets, as they are now going to move into the finals here of the NACE Spring Cup. And they're going to play the winner of Mizzou and Full Sail Armada, which are easily like another two top teams here in this division, in this league. So that final will definitely be exciting. So if you want to see the finish of that, be sure to follow NACE. I think it's NACE Esports. That's the league's Twitter. And then, of course, if you want to see these Overwatch players play again and see the rest of our Saints Gaming squad, be sure to follow the Twitch, follow the Twitter. Get all the updates, because we do have multiple matches happening throughout the week. I believe up next we do have a NACE Cup match, except it's going to be the Counter-Strike squad. They've been on a little bit of a tear lately. So that'll be happening Thursday at 8 o'clock. And then Friday, the Rainbow Six Siege team continues their playoff run through the CR6, and I believe they are at either the quarter or the semifinals now, so they're on quite the run as well. Be sure to follow to get all the updates for that. Any other last words here in regards to the UT Dallas match versus St. Clair?
I think that about sums it up. You know, we saw good things come out from Dallas, and in St. Clair's last match, we saw good things come out from them. And I'm hoping to see more of St. Clair's matches in the future once they get going again in the next series.
Yeah, this tournament, this season might be done, but I'm sure there'll be another one around the corner. So be sure to keep tuned in for that. And I do want to give a big thankful, of course, to you, Available, for joining me here on the commentary desk. Always a pleasure having you on, leveling you up, and getting you some experience. And you're doing a fantastic job, especially here with the Overwatch things. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And I do also want to give a big thank you to Nick, to Yeti, for being our observer here today, with all the good angles, finding the right shots at the right time, and giving us the beautiful cinematics in between rounds. And thank you to Ryan Baker, of course, for producing this stream and making it all happen remotely. Couldn't do without you all. And to close out, again, I'm Daniel Banner, one of your hosts here for tonight. And thank you for tuning in. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you on Thursday.